Okay, time now is 11:31 a.m. in the morning on March 24th. School is back, bitches. I slept from 5 a.m. to 11:30, but I randomly woke up like an hour ago at 10:30 or 9:30 because I thought there was a fly or some insect. But yeah. Um uh I actually went to bed at like 4:50, but I used my phone until like 5:10. Okay, so um yeah, I'm so tired. Fuck. 4:30 a.m. bedtime tonight, okay? I promise. So yeah, thank God it's Monday though, because I don't have morning classes. So I don't have to wake up and then leave my apartment immediately. Um, I've thought of making a YouTube video, but it's like, nah. I'd rather do something more important, like the director's pitch that I have to present later tonight for my 290 class, and also Smooth Operator's schedule, which I still haven't done. I need to do it now. I need to confirm the actors by today. That's my plan, you know. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh my God, Smooth Op, man. Fuck. So much to do. Um, I really hope I'm done with this short film. I really hope I am. Uh, and then with 340, I'm still debating myself whether I should go to office hours with this professor because I suck at the last essay. And I feel like no matter what I do now, my next essay is not gonna get an A because I have made the I have given him the preconception that I suck. So yeah. Um yeah, otherwise it's been okay. Otherwise it's been an okay day. Um I'm excited to be on set with Jayun on April 5th. Hello, chum buds. It's 10:16, no, 10:06 p.m. Um, yeah, just came back home. As you can see, I'm in my street clothes. I'm kind of starving, but I'll do this first and then I'll go down to eat dinner. Twas a good day. What the fuck? I I hate that I'm going through these cycles where like 1 week I would be extremely sad and angry, and then the next week I'm just like jolly, and I shouldn't be jolly. Like, I am 1 week away from filming Smooth Op, and I should be freaking out, but no, I'm just okay. Cause today was a few good things happened. A few good things happened. So morning, woke up, went to RIT 340. The cereal is bad. I think this is the second time I've been dissatisfied with Trader Joe's. The first time it's frozen beef tacos, frozen chicken tacos. The Raisin Bran cereal they have is bland as a cardboard, and I did not enjoy it. I went to RIT 340 class, and at first I went to SCA third floor just to chill, and I was listening to music. And then I left the building, and I walked through the school, through the gates of SCA, and I ran into Ethan Kwan, and he was on a skateboard, and we talked a little bit, and he's like, yeah, you can come tonight at 9 p.m., and then I'll give you the gimbal and the light, and I'm like, sure. And I asked him, oh, on a side note, do you have a tripod? And he's like, no, they're like too expensive anyways. So I left. And then I checked my pocket, and then I was like, wait a second. Where's my earbud box? I have my earbuds still on, but the box is gone. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't put it in my bag, my backpack. So I'm like, well, fuck, it's got to be upstairs. So I went all the way back to SCA third floor, and I found my earbud box. My earpod. I found the box, and I'm like, oh my god, thank god. It's a really good habit to like check your pockets constantly. By doing that, I think I've saved my ass like 3 times. Like one time I almost lost my wallet. I think twice I almost lost my wallet. And then a couple times I almost lost my sunglasses. Always check your pockets. So anyways, I went to RIT 340. New hair, glasses, sat down. And throughout the entire class I did not say anything. I just sat down and I zone out and I daydream. I don't know why. Like, having found out that my first essay got a D makes me unable to focus on anything. Or more like, I'm listening to the professor lecture, and the professor's talking about like bad examples, and in my head I'm just like, so that's me? So I guess I'm that. I'm like that. And the professor starts talking about good examples of writing, and I'm like, okay, so the professor wants me to do that. And I'm just like ruminating in it and sort of zoning out. And then I thought, should I talk to the professor after class or not? So after class, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go and I'll talk. So I talked to the professor. I was like, hey, so maybe I'll come to an office hour. And he's like, are you free 11:30 to 12:30? And I'm like, no. And he's like, and I was like, well, I can actually just talk after class this Wednesday. And he's like, sure. And then, yeah. And then I told him, I was like, oh, for the first essay, I wrote it in one fell swoop, and I was rushing. And he's like, yeah. Like, he had the face of, yeah, I can tell. The thing is, like, I've always been confident of my own writing, my own English writing. I've always been so good at it. So for the first essay of my English writing class in USC, to get a D is like kind of a blow. It's kind of a destruction moment. Like it's kind of a discouraging. So I don't know, but I feel like it would be useful if I talked to him about it, because at least he wouldn't read my essay. Like it's very much about like it's very subjective. If he goes into an essay already thinking, oh well, his last essay sucked, so I'm gonna go into this one nitpicking a lot. Or if the last essay was great, he's going to be like, well, I guess we'll see something great again. And I don't want him to have any preconceptions. That's why first impressions are so important, and I fucked up my first impressions. So anyways, I hope I get nothing but A's for this class from here on out. But yeah, I'm going to take RIT 340 way more seriously from here on out. Which I guess is a good thing. It's like academia. It's like, here's what I was thinking, you know? Like, I low-key miss the challenge of studying. Like, fighting really hard for an exam just to get a really low score, and then fighting even harder. It hurts, but it's good, because it forces you to be better, and it
it like keeps you on edge. In a way, to be a good student, you need to be a masochist. And academia is a fetish. It's a really radical thing to say, but I'm gonna say it. Academia is a fetish. So, I think it's good. Anyways, we're 3:40 done. So I received an email saying that today there's going to be free boba at 3 p.m. at the lawn. And I thought of going, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go because I'm going alone and I would be an idiot. But then I'm like, you know what, I'll just go and grab a boba and just leave. Because the thing is, I don't really have any food to eat for lunch. So I think the boba would be a pretty good, like, half lunch. And then I'll go home and I'll have some eggs and ham. So I went to the lawn outside of SCI to grab some boba. And it's the same woman whom I've met, I think, earlier this year or maybe last semester. But yeah, I got some free boba. And interesting things happened because I feel like I've come to a point in my school career in USC where I would just constantly run into people. So I started running into people. First of all, I saw an Indian guy with like facial hair, and I'm like, is that a seer? The dude who I called the dude who's in the con team. And then I wanted to say hi, but he just walked away. I thought it would be really funny if like we already see each other when we had boba together. That's really funny. And then we're lining up, and suddenly some guy behind me was like, hey, it's you again, and then shook my hand. And then turns out it's one of the Chinese dudes from The Woman is Perfected. He's like, oh, wow, I'm seeing you again. And then there's another girl beside him, who is from a woman, I'm sorry, because she's older than me. Every female or every woman older than me is called a woman, and every woman younger than me is called a girl. That's just how it works. So this Chinese woman, apparently she's from Guangzhou and she can speak really good Cantonese. And then so this Chinese guy, Jimmy, he's like, oh, can you speak Cantonese? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you're fluent? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, can you act? Because I'm making a short film and I need Cantonese actors. And I'm like, just for one day? And he's like, no, 2 to 3 days. And I'm like, I can't. And apparently it's like, he's inspired by Wong Kar-wai and Happy Together. And I'm like, of course. So I'm not going to be in a romance and I'm not gay. So I don't think it's going to work. But I recommended Glenn Wong. Glenn is perfect. So yeah, and then we sat down, we had boba, and then behind them, it's Vanessa, who is the girl who was going to have a Zoom meeting with me. She's like from Peru or Colombia, but she recently went to Dubai, and I'm like, oh wow, I got to see her in person. That's cool. It's always cool to meet someone in person first before you meet them on set. So it's cool I ran into her. So a little bit later, me, the Chinese guy, and this other woman sat down and we talked. And then I also talked to Vanessa. So it's really crazy that I just know all these people randomly. Yeah, we talked, and yeah, the woman was like, "Oh, you're handsome," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you." Crazy is how much a haircut changes. I think it's also a lot about like my cadence and like how calm and collected I was. But yeah, we just talked basic stuff, and it was awkward. Sometimes it's not awkward. Sometimes I meet someone who can speak Cantonese, and I just immediately speak Cantonese with them. But like in this situation, because we're already speaking English, when she suddenly asks me something in Cantonese and I respond back in Cantonese, it's like, oh, what the fuck's going on? But again, it's like it usually is never awkward, but like it's still weird. So, anyways, there's that. So I left and I couldn't get onto the bus. I don't want to wait half an hour for the bus. So I walked back home and I just covered in sweat. I don't know why it's so hot. I came back home and I really focused on finishing the director's pitch for 290, and then I had lunch and then I walked to school again. So 2:90 class, I arrived. I was 3 minutes late. It's okay. Everyone's here. A lot of people got haircuts. A lot of people changed their aura. Cheyenne is no longer this like authoritative, elegant, classy lady. This time around, she's wearing something colorful jacket. She had hair clips. She's like a girly now. Ryan had a haircut. I had a haircut. I came in and I was fucking menacing because I'm not wearing a jacket and I wore glasses, so I'm like going through my nerdy phase or something. Or like I'm going through, not nerdy, like I'm going through something classy. I'm going classy now. So I was menacing. And then we did the director's pitch, and surprisingly, Cheyenne did the producing pitch. She's like, well, since there are no producers, well, I guess I'll also be producer. And if you guys still need directors, then I'll jump to directing. And she ended up being producer, which is crazy. Because I was thinking, ooh, if I direct one and Cheyenne direct one, it's like, you know, we're the two masters. Come on. But no, she gave up. Maybe it's Matt. Maybe Matt is pulling the strings. I feel like Matt is convincing her, oh, don't even direct. Forget about it. Just produce. Just sit back. But like, I hate being producer. I cannot be producer. I do not want to be producer. I will die. So anyways, Jade, the black girl in the class, also did a pitch. The same for the same short film as Cheyenne's pitch. So both Jade and Cheyenne also pitched for Portia Story, which is Slumber Party, and Cheyenne won. And so Jade is forced to produce Ben's story, The Chips Are Down, which is the one I'm doing the pitching for. So director's pitch, only me and Rachel are doing it. And the funny thing is both me and Rachel are also going for Ben's The Chips Are Down, but we have not communicated about this at all. I don't know what her pitch looks like. She doesn't know what my pitch looks like. And clearly mine was more well prepared, even though I only started doing it today. But I have these crazy ideas like timelines and overhead sketches and storyboards and like just interesting shit that I could come up with, lined script. But Rachel also did do stuff that I didn't do, like character breakdown, really detailed character breakdowns. But so, and then Sela didn't even have to pitch. She went with Vegas Baby, which is Tina's script, and then she immediately got it. So it's between me and Rachel, and so the next phase is the producer and the writer team up and they pick a director. So obviously, Sela has Vegas Baby. It's locked in. Now, Ben and Jade, they sit together and they start discussing, and I'm like, oh god. Because, like, usually I'm really confident at getting the director and being good at filmmaking in general, but, like, today I was thinking maybe they're just gonna give it to Rachel because they would feel bad if they give it to someone so experienced. Like, they want to give it to someone who is less experienced and less confident to, you know, push her further, and because I don't need it, you know. So I was scared that that's gonna happen, but no, they picked me at the end. It's confirmed, and I was like, thank you. Even when I finished the pitch, so I did the presentation, and it went really well. Like, I don't know why I was speaking really articulately. I was projecting my voice. I was looking at everyone, and I made everyone laugh a couple times. I did a really good job, and then I went back to my seat, and Ben was like, good job, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know why I was so good at it. I was like perfect, no stutters, just like calm and collected. And Rachel was like slower, but Rachel also didn't do a bad job, low-key. So I feel really bad. So they picked me as director, so I got it. If this is film 33, I just got director. Gracias, muchas gracias. But still, you know, don't know what to do with Rachel. So I feel bad for Rachel, and I was just gonna ask, and Rachel was like, "Oh, how about I be the DP?" And I was gonna ask her, but then literally Ryan and Andrew Wu, they were beside Jade, and they're like, both of them were like, "We want to be DPs." So now I have to choose, and then the professor was like, "Okay, so now the director has to choose who's the DP." So now it's my choice, and I'm like, I genuinely don't know because Ryan, Rachel, Andrew, I know all of them, and I don't want to forsake any of them. So Ryan and Andrew Wu clearly had more experience, and Rachel's sitting at the very far back, so Rachel's not very interactive with us. I kept calling Rachel. I was like, Rachel, so can you do this? Can you do that? So at the end, we were like, okay, maybe Ryan and Andrew Wu could co-DP, and then at the end, I thought we're gonna also have to pick a gaffer. And Andrew Wu was like, well, I have experience gaffing, and Ryan is more videography. And then the professor was like, well, the gaffer and the DP should be the same person because you guys don't even have that much people. So at the end, we went with Andrew Wu. So Andrew Wu is now officially the DP, but he was like, if I could co-DP with Ryan, it's great too. So now I'm in this tough dilemma, and then now Rachel has nowhere to go. And Rachel was going to go over to Cheyenne's group to be the director. So Cheyenne's group right now, so my group right now is Jade's the producer, I'm the director, Andrew Wu's the DP, maybe Ryan, and then Cole, the big Korean American guy, Cole Kim, he has no choice but to be PD because he doesn't want to do anything else, he doesn't know sound, and then this random Chinese girl could do sound, that's it. But this Chinese girl may not even show up, so who knows. And then Rachel was originally here, but then like other groups have very few people. So Rachel's like, you know what, I'll just leave. I'll just go. And I feel really bad for her. So Rachel went to Cheyenne's group. So Cheyenne's group right now, Cheyenne's a producer. Portia cannot be there because Portia's the writer, so Portia left. So Cheyenne's a producer, and then they picked Megan, the most vanilla white girl. The most vanilla of all vanillas, white girl, literally drinking Starbucks, to be the director. And then their team also has Daniela, and Tina went to their team. So it's interesting because it's like two different groups. Like Tina never hangs out with the Cheyenne group, but I guess Tina has no choice now. And then Rachel joined in. So they only have 5 people, but they already picked the director. And then somehow they also picked a DP. I guess Daniela wanted to be DP. So now even Rachel cannot be DP. So Rachel went to the other group, the third group, which is Vegas Baby. And the producer is Ben, and it is directed by Sela. And the DP is Vic, because Ben and Vic are on very good terms. And so now Rachel can't even be DP. And they also have Portia and Audrey as sound. Portia's probably going to be PD. So now Rachel has nowhere to go, and I feel genuinely terrible. She tried to be director, and now she can't even do anything. She can't even be DP. It all fell down. And I feel bad because I was part of the process. I really wanted her to be gaffer or something, but then like I asked her, can you gaff? And she's like, I have 0 experience lighting. So I can't really help. I shouldn't feel bad because I earned my position, but I feel really bad for her. So after class, she just stormed out. I DM'd her, didn't respond to me. I guess she's like upset. But like, damn, I feel bad. I told her, hey, I'll help you on project 2. So yeah, that's crazy. Also during break in 290, the professor was like, Enoch, come here. Or just Enoch, have you read my email? Because the professor read my script for Smooth Op and was like, okay, this is not okay, this is not okay. And I told him, oh, it's going to be editing tricks and camera tricks. And he's like, well, you just got to tell the production office and then they'll tell me, but you can't do fights. You can't do fights because the school has an agreement with SAG and like the actors, they get too excited and they actually get hurt. And I'm like, oh, well, it's just going to be camera tricks and nothing is set in stone. So, I told him the raw eggs is just going to be orange juice. And he's like, okay. But like, yeah, my actors aren't even SAG. Okay, anyways. But yeah, so we talked with Jade and I'm confident in my directing though. Like, I'm not that worried about it because I already have a pretty clear vision of like what lens or like what angle, what shots, the blocking, the character archetypes, the acting, the performances. I have a pretty strong vision already. I'm like, well, I'll just do it. And then Andrew Wu, I'm okay with either Ryan or Andrew Wu, or even Rachel. We could come up with a shot list together. But yeah. Um, so yeah, that's basically it. So we left, and I was gonna catch up with Rachel, but she just stormed away. So I walked with Andrew Wu, and we talked a lot. And then we just talked about our projects. We talked about the crew project, Project 2. We talked about 191, his class 201. He talked about In the Mood for Love. And I told him I'm heading to Ethan's place right now in Gateway to get his gimbal and light. And he's like, oh, I'll follow along just to say hi. So we went to Gateway and we just talked. And it was really nice. Because he's really chill. And I keep forgetting, he just turned 21. So he's like a year younger. And because of that, he's like more like passive for some reason. And I just talk about my projects and stuff, and he's like, yeah, you know. And we waited a long time because Ethan's waiting for my DM. I thought he already knew that we arrived, but no. So me and Andrew, we were just waiting outside of the elevator, waiting for Ethan to show up. Ethan finally showed up, and then we talked even more. Ethan was like, oh, I'm already preparing for my 310, because Ethan's taking 310 next semester. And then he's like, oh, it's inspired by 2046, Blade Runner, 2047, Gattaca, and the set is like a brutalist restaurant. And I'm like, wow, okay. And we laughed. But like, it's cool that I know so many people that's going to 310 next semester because I can just keep crewing on them. Like, I know 4 people. I know Katie, Ethan, Colin, and Anya, and I want to work for all of them. I'm going to be in on the T, and I know Jiayun will too. This semester is mainly John Kim and Brandon, Andrew Wu's twin brother. I asked Andrew, so Brandon applied for film production, so they both applied for film production. Brandon got waitlisted. Andrew just didn't even get in. And then Brandon got in literally the first day of school, and Andrew didn't. So that's sad, man. That's fucking sad. So yeah. And Andrew was like, oh, so will you keep trying? And I'm like, nah, I'm junior. It's too late. And he's like, same. No, but he's junior, but he just turned 21. I'm turning 23 this year, by the way. So yeah. But yeah, you know, it's cool though. Ethan's really chill. And with Andrew here, Ethan speaks more to the both of us. And Ethan's like, oh yeah, so the APCA web series is a mess. But this 310, 290, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll be more involved in 310s next semester. That's fucking awesome, I guess. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, and then I'll be close with Colin too after con. So, I mean, bring me on as PD. So, yeah. About the Hollyland mic, I am buying it on Amazon. They're not gonna replace it. They have to investigate it first before they refund me, and the investigation will last until April 7th, which is like fucking stupid. And then yeah. Smooth Op. So it's confirmed with Glenn's friend Alex that he's gonna play Zach. So I have the 2 leads. With Kaylin's confirmation, either she plays Sophia or the other Chinese girl plays her, which I do not prefer because the Chinese girl playing Sophia kind of ruins it for me because Sophia is like an Asian American girl. Not just Asian. Like, it doesn't really fit the character type, but we'll see. But I'm actually kind of confident on Smooth Op. I made the schedule on Google Spreadsheet during 290 today, and I was like, oh wow, it's a lot of shots, but it's doable, and it's not that complicated. What the fuck? It's not as complicated as Remain in Light. Remain in Light is complicated because Vivian has changed clothes like 5 times, but this time around is not that complicated. There aren't that many locations. The action and the acting is complicated, but like the locations and the actors are way simpler. So I'm like, well, it's actually really doable. I think it might actually work. So we'll see. If my mic arrives on time, I test it out. I got a gimbal now. I don't have a tripod. I'll use my shitty monopod. It's okay. I'll try to keep it still. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to book a room. I'm going to go to the SPO in the morning. And yeah, religion class, I got a 94% for my midterms. So, I mean, come on. I don't know if that's A minus or A plus. I don't want to get A minus, but like, I think 94% is pretty much close to A. So, yeah, I mean, this is great. And then yeah, I'm excited to get to set with Jayun. Yeah, I'm gonna ask her to come to Cam's Fest. And I want to hang out with her. We'll see. And then Khan, I'm excited for the meeting on Thursday. We're all just gonna show up together in person, and we're like, yeah, that's the team. We're like X-Men. Yeah. So yeah, not bad. I received an email earlier this morning saying like it's from the official Can website asking me to verify my account. And then I tried to verify it, but it's like I don't even know what's my account. Like I don't know what's a password and everything. But like just seeing that email and seeing it in French, I'm like, it's actually happening. This is crazy, bruh. And Colin's in it, Matt's in it. You know, I remember talking to Tiger Lily when she was making spiked hot cocoa. I was like, I want to get in, and she's like, yeah, maybe I'll try this year. We got in. So yeah, it's all working out. Everything's kind of working out, and yeah. And then after Smooth Op, huge like weight lifted. I'm not even that worried about the hotel shoot. The hotel shoot is like nothing. It's like tiny, teeny tiny, you know. And the good thing with the hotel shoot is like I already know Ryan and Andrew and like Cole. Like we will work it out together. You know. I just realized that Jade is the only non-Asian in the crew right now. That's hilarious. Yeah. It wouldn't make sense if any of the guys went to Cheyenne's group because that group is all girls. But yeah, yeah, everything's working out. Hopefully I go to bed earlier tonight. I'll have salmon, pasta, Caesar salad. Yippee.
Time now is 10:53 a.m. on March 25th. Fuck. I slept from 5:10 to 11 to 10:30 actually. Yeah. So tired. I don't know why I keep pushing late. I need to sleep earlier than 5 tonight. 4:30. Let's aim for 4:30, please, please, please. Yeah. Let's aim for 4:30 for real. So yeah. Yesterday was not that productive. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I had a good day. But after dinner, I didn't do anything for like a couple hours. I just scrolled Instagram. Sometimes you just need to decompress and just rest. So I did nothing. And then I watched episode 2 of Severance, and then after that, it's like 4:45 already. So, yeah. Like during RIT 340 class yesterday, the professor was like, oh, I always wake up every morning at 4:30 a.m. so that I could, eat a good breakfast and then light a candle and write. And that's such a healthy habit because I go to bed at 4:30 or even later. And like the students, my classmates, they were also like, "Damn, I go to bed at that time." So yeah, I gotta sleep earlier. Um, Today is religion class, and then after religion class, I'll immediately go home, have a very fast lunch, and then I'll go out to meet with TA3 for my ALI meeting. And then I'm also gonna be bringing Jing's bag of drills, and then I'll be taking a bus to his Home Depot, not Home Depot, to his public storage locker, and then just putting it there. I was gonna meet up with Jing Chun today to give the drill back to him, but he will be here between 4 and 6, and coincidentally, I have a meeting from 4 to 6, so that's fucked. And yeah, that's it for today, really. Yeah, I had a very vivid dream where me and my family, as in, my mom, dad, cousins, grandma, we traveled together again, and for some reason I just couldn't sleep, or there's like time zone differences, and I sleep very late, and I don't know if this is like an Airbnb, or it also felt like it's really weird. It felt like a giant house, or like a car park with multiple floors. It doesn't really feel like a house. I was gonna sleep, but then I couldn't sleep, and then just when I was about to go to bed, my brother and my two cousins came back from swimming, and they were loud and they're talking, and they had to use the bathroom. So I'm like, great, I guess I won't use the bathroom. I'll wait for them. And then I waited and waited and waited, and then it's already next morning. And yeah. Um yeah, and then I realized I haven't slept like the whole night. And then people started waking up, like my dad and etc. started waking up because it's the next morning already, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just sleep anywhere. Yeah, I really like sleeping. If only I could skip some of the classes, that would be nice. My criterions are arriving today, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully the UPS won't vanish them. And then, what else? Yeah. I don't know. I want to hang out with Giant. It's like, I realize it's been 2 years since Leslie. It's actually been a while. And it's so crazy. Also, I'm suspecting that Aditya is like pacing around in front of my bedroom door because I hear like footsteps, like a door opens from below and someone walks up, and then like I just don't hear any more footsteps, but I hear like wood creaking. I'm getting paranoid. I'm the one getting paranoid now. Yeah. But I think I'll be seeing a lot more of Jayun regardless. I'll be seeing her on April 5th. I'll be seeing her for Rush. her film. I'll be seeing her for the 310s. If she decides to AD for Katie, I'll be there. If she decides to help out with Colin or Anya, I'll be there. If she decides to help out with Ethan, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be much more connected next semester, hopefully. Yeah.
Well, there goes Jing Chen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, time now is 8:10 p.m. Yeah, and let's talk about today. Another semi-interesting day, but feeling pretty positive overall with a couple of hiccups, I guess. So, I hate that Tuesdays are supposed to be chill. Like, I only have one religion class, and then for the rest of the day, I just do nothing. But chill days don't really exist anymore. Every single day I have something lined up. It's actually insane how busy I am again immediately after spring break. But it's a good sign though, right? Anyways, I woke up and the first thing I found out was not good. A dream. I had a dream. I forgot if I mentioned my dream already this morning, but I was in vacation with my family, and my cousins were there. I think this dream is partially because last night or yesterday, my younger cousin and my brother both Instagram DM'd me and WhatsApped me respectively, asking me if I am this person in a Fortnite account. And I'm like, I've never played Fortnite before, so no. But yeah, it's kind of weird. More on that later, I guess. Okay, tiny comment, but this comment could explode in could open really a can of worms. But again, there's like a series of people, like a group, like a whole category of people that I've known that I don't want to ever speak to again or see again until I have a girlfriend. Like everyone ranging from Natalie to Potter to my own cousins to yeah, like just a range of people, a laundry list of people that I don't have the I don't have the pride to face. But then it's like again, it's I hate the idea of like having a girlfriend being a rite of passage, but it is very much seen by media and popular culture as a rite of passage, and I can't really do anything about that. Okay, I digress. So the first hiccup of the day is that I found out that I got rejected from Ying-Ichi Film Festival. Ying-Ichi Film Festival finally announced their 12 finalists. I thought it's 15, but it's 12 finalists out of 160 something submitters. So I have like 8% chance, and I wasn't in the finalists. So yeah, I'm not that bummed about it because I kind of saw it coming. Because when I submitted The World's Not Enough to Ying-Ichi, it was in its worst condition. Like, the sound was fucked up, the music is meh, some of the coloring was off. But also the production quality wasn't that great to begin with. It's like very small, very skeleton crew. I looked at some of the stills from the 12 finalists, and they're all pretty professional. There's like a, they're all indie, but they have like a media team, like a crew to back it up. They're solid. They're, and a lot of the filmmakers and directors, they are well into their 30s or maybe even 40s. So it's like, yeah, I pretty much don't stand a chance, but it just pisses me off because I really want The World Is Not Enough to make it into at least one Hong Kong Film Festival. Um, I mean, there's still a chance. I literally just finished making it. But, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. So anyways, I randomly had a stomachache this morning. Not really stomachache, it's just, I had to go to the bathroom. And I did not see that coming. And so I missed the bus and I had to walk to school. And walking from home to a Manson Center is fucking shit. And also the fact that I didn't have time to have breakfast. So I just grabbed the chocolate cheesecake steam thing. And I brought it in my backpack. I walked all the way to a Manson Center, and outside the Manson Center, I ate it. I went into the classroom. I was 7 minutes late. It's okay. It didn't miss much. And then we have the rest of the lecture. It's okay. Not much to be said. I left. That's it. Yeah. During class, I'm really trying to figure out what classes I want to take for next semester, because obviously originally I want to overload next semester, and then as it turns out I'm underloading my next semester because a lot of classes are clashing. And it's such a shame too, because I have 2 semesters left and I can't afford to, like, oh well, I can't take this class next semester, so I'll just take it next semester. I can't do that shit anymore. The issue is, for next semester, Asian horror is Wednesdays 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then Mary Sweeney's class is 1:50 to 3. And then the acting class is also Wednesday 1:50 to 3. Literally 3 classes I want to take all overlap. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just take so this means I only have spring 2026 left, but even so, acting and Mary Sweeney's class will overlap, unless the acting class suddenly randomly decide to move its time, but I highly doubt it. But Mary Sweeney's class, like, I was looking at her class schedules historically, and by historically I mean like this semester now, her classes are always Wednesdays at 1:50 p.m. And so, if the acting classes are still Wednesday at 1:50, and then Mary Sweeney class is still Wednesday at 1:50 next semester, I don't know. I guess I'll just go with Mary Sweeney. But I really want to get into an acting class, I don't think they're gonna offer archaeology methods class anymore. I don't know, man. I don't know. So I'm probably gonna underload my class amounts next semester. I'll take 16 units, which is a huge bummer. Like, I wish I could take more than that. But yeah, anyways, I'll figure that shit out soon. So moving on, I immediately went back home. So obviously I didn't have time to go to the SPO office and book a room for Saturday. Didn't have time to do that. It's okay, I'll do that tomorrow for sure. For freaking sure. So, yeah. So, lots of things are happening in my mind. Okay, so I immediately went back home and I made myself a bowl of noodles. I charged my laptop. I didn't change my clothes. And then at around 3:30 I left. Grabbed my backpack. I walked away from my apartment and walked to the bus stop. And then I was like, crikey, I forgot the bag. So today I'm also planning to return Jing Chen's bag of power tools, of like drills and whatnot. And at first, Jing Chen was like, "Oh, well, meet me afternoon," and I'm like, "Cool." But then at the same time, I have this meeting with TA3 for ALI, so I'm like, "How about I meet you at 6 p.m.?" And he's like, "No, the public storage closes at 6 p.m." And I'm like, "Okay, how about like before 4 p.m.?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then a little bit later, he's like, "Oh, nah, so the lock hasn't arrived and you'll need the code to get in, so you have to meet me in person." So I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll end the meeting early. How about 5:50 p.m.?" And he's like, "No, it's too late. You're not going to make it." And I'm like, "Oh, I mean arrive at 5:50." And he's like, "No, it's too late. How about another day?" But like I look at my schedule and realize tomorrow I'm packed, Thursday I'm packed, Friday I'm packed, Saturday I have a short film, Sunday I have a short film. Jesus. So I was like, today's like the only day. Besides, I dragged this heavy ass bag onto the bus all the way to the library and then back. Like, I have to return it today. So I told Jingjin, how about 5:30? And Jingjin's like, okay, 5:30 works. So yeah, so I arrived at the library and I met with TA3. I was a few minutes late, but it's okay. And then we just had like a meeting and it's like 40 minutes long. And then we watched like the first 20 minutes of holdovers. And then that's it. And then we're done. I hate it. This is my job. I'm supposed to actually do my job and fulfill the 2 hours. But I don't think I've ever done a complete 2 hour meeting with either of the TAs this semester so far because I keep having other shit to do for some reason and they're all time sensitive. It's fucking insane. So anyways, I ended up cutting the meeting short at around 5 p.m. I just left. And TA3 was pretty happy about it. TA3 is like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm just going to go home and sleep. I want sleep." So I took a bus number 2. So Jingchen was like, "Oh, it's okay. The public storage is really near campus." And by near, he means 40 minutes by bus. So yeah, it's near campus. So the public storage isn't in freaking San Diego. It's not in Santa Monica. Not Hollywood. It's in downtown LA. Fine. But it's still 40 fucking minutes by bus because Los Angeles is so fucking terribly fucking designed. So I took bus number 2, went straight up the street, and then I arrived. I left the bus stop, and I've never been in this area, and holy fucking shit, I feel like I'm walking through hell. Like I went down and it feels like the street in Beau is Afraid. It feels like Children of Men. The road is full of trash and piss marks and just marks in general, and then weird homeless people, weird drugged people, junkies, just roaming around the streets. It's like dystopian, and I was like, wow, this is glorious. It's how disgusting this place is. And I had to drag this bag of power tools and then walk about 8 minutes. Finally reached the public storage building. Finally met Jingchen, and Jingchen is like, I guess I'm even noticing it more now. Like lately, is like he's just such a cool person. He's such a cold person. So when he saw me, he's like, okay, come on. No pleasantries, no highs, which I respect because he's trying to maintain that Asianness of his. But I'm gonna wash my fucking feet. But like yeah, and it's crazy. I only needed a drill so that I could make a sign for Jiayun, and it's costing me so much trouble. All the Uber fees, etc. So yeah, um, I need to remember to um get reimbursed. So um yeah. So uh yeah, Jingchen went up the elevator. We went up the elevator and we went into his little storage unit. And it's public storage, but it's so shitty. It's just nothing but concrete and winding corridors. And I'm like, wow. I've been in a public storage before in Santa Monica, and it's not that bad. And here it's pretty terrible. So, anyways, Jingchen just drives away, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, wow, this is nice. And he was like, Oh yeah, before he drove away, he's like, "Oh yeah, so the lock will come, like the number lock will come from Amazon, and so next time if you want to borrow something from me, I'll just give you the number, and then you can come here and pick up the prop by yourself." And I'm like, "Cool, maybe it'll be useful." And he's like, "Not maybe, definitely, it'll happen." And then when he's leaving, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll see you soon." And he's like, "Not maybe, definitely." He's just like so sure of it, you know. That's how the industry works. We keep running into people. And that's true, we do. It's weird, it's magical, it's the life, you know. And I don't understand its physics either, but this is how the industry works. So I walked to the bus stop, waited 15 freaking minutes, hopped onto the bus. Some guy, like, I couldn't sit down at first, and then I found a seat, and then some guy next to me left so that an older mom carrying a baby could sit down. And then now I'm like, should I also stand up and let someone else sit just so that I don't look like an asshole? And then an older woman find a seat, and the child that is with her, maybe about 10 or 11 years old, I was like, "Do you want to sit?" And he's like, "Yeah, thank you." So I just stood up. Yeah. Okay, so went back to campus area, took a free lift back home. Here I am, 7:30. There's a Zoom meeting with Tammy Hua. That's the name of the PD who's working on the music video, and as well as this other person. But surprisingly short Zoom meeting. It's not even Zoom, it's Google Meet, and it's like 20 minutes long. So yeah, there's that. So that just happened. Another crazy thing happened. I wouldn't call it a hiccup. So before the Zoom meeting at around 7 p.m., Michelle was like, "What was your role on Ends and Means again?" And it's like the fifth time she asked me that. And I'm like, "Why do you keep forgetting?" And she's like, "UPM?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not UPM. I didn't get it." I was like, "I'm location manager." And she's like, "Oh. Because I didn't see your name on the IMDb." And I'm like, What the fuck? What? IMDb? IMDb? So, Ends and fucking Means is officially registered on IMDb today. And it's crazy because nobody knows about this. Michelle randomly learned about this and told me. And then I'm like, holy shit. So I told Shane, Liam, and Tova immediately. And oh, it's interesting because I'm not credited at all. There are like 11 producers credited. Cruccio, Benny, Birkin, Zach, and then a bunch of names of people that I've never even fucking met before. Where were they during post-production? Pre-production? Where were they? Like, what the fuck did they do? They gave the short film some money so they automatically become producer, but I made Google Forms. I found the PAs. The G&E team wouldn't have been complete without me. I scouted Ariel. On the recommendation of Cruccio, yes, but I made it happen. I'm not credited at all. My name is completely gone. I was going to tell Shane that his name is gone, but I later found Shane in the art department. So, interestingly, production design is now shared between Sidlali and Red, which is so fucked up. Sidlali is supposed to be art director, and art director is Ben, like the old guy, Ben, who has nothing to do with this project other than supervising. But now Red and Sidlali are co-PDs, which is just fucking diabolical. Liam completely erased. Bree and Tova completely not there. Also, surprisingly, Gustavo, the Brazilian guy, the first ACF Camby, not there at all. But surprisingly, Leia is credited, even though she only showed up for one day and did nothing. She's credited as Grip, which is so bizarre. Jonathan is credited. I think even if Cruccio doesn't like Jonathan, I think Jonathan held such a big title that Cruccio can't really dismiss. But yeah, honestly, I'm not pissed that he didn't credit me at all. Because I'm at USC right now, I'm on path to do great things. I'm going to Cannes Film Festival, and I'm hopping on one MFA set after another. One MFA set in USC is 50 times more significant than whatever the fuck Film 33 is. You know, let's be honest here. But yeah, wow. Um, that's silly. That's goofy. So Liam was really hyped. Liam was like beast mode because neither of us are. In fact, it's almost like a badge of honor. Like if I get on Kuchio's bad side, it means I'm doing something right. And Benny has 2 credits. Benny's now co-producer and also assistant editor. Fucking Benny. So yeah, just very goofy. So I'm gonna, if I have free time, I'm gonna launch an Instagram account just memes of ends and means, and Oscar campaigns for ends and means, and just fan trailers, fan edits, etc. Like I don't care. Like we just gotta. It's like a smear campaign, but it's also fun. We gotta do that. Yeah, Tova was surprised about it too, but part of me, and I think Tova believes it too, is that it's not fully updated yet. There's no way they're crediting Leia but not Gustavo, considering that Gustavo was there the whole shoot, and maybe Gustavo have caused some, a hiccup or two, but Gustavo was never like rebellious like Liam, so it makes no sense that they're getting Leia but not Gustavo. So yeah, maybe it's not fully updated yet, but for now, I know I'm not in the producing team. I'm not recognized as part of the producing team, which is fucking hilarious. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna add it on Letterboxd soon. And I have the actual crew list, so I'm gonna do it. The thing is, Crucio only found out about the Letterboxd thing because Jonathan leaked it, unfortunately. But if I do it again, it's like fine. If no one tells Crucio, he would know. He doesn't use Letterboxd anyways. Professor Antonio does, but he barely uses it anyways too. So yeah, I'm putting that shit back on Letterboxd. Yeah, and then I guess the other hiccup is I think Rachel's mad at me because Rachel did not read my messages at all and just kind of gone from Instagram, and I think she's just really pissed after what happened last night. I would be too if I was him. Like, imagine if this Film 33 and I apply for UPM, and not only did I not get into the production team, but I'm just a PA completely kicked out. Like, I would be really upset. But, like, also, I didn't do anything wrong. I got director, and, you know, I rightfully chose a DP, and I even tried to ask Rachel to be gaffer. And also this industry is cutthroat. I mean, the thing is, when Rachel chose to do the pitch, this for the same script as I am, Rachel's going against me, and I hate saying this, but I'm powerful. Like, right now in cams, I think I'm like very competent. Maybe if I'm dropped into film production, maybe I'm way less competent. But in the cams department, I'm like one of the more like relentless. I wouldn't say evil, but like after film 3, after Ends and Means, and I think also under the context of how passive and how quiet I used to be back in secondary school, I think right now it's only natural for me to become so relentless because it's sort of like a reaction. So yeah. But I can speak to her tomorrow if she decides to show up for CTCS 192 discussion, which is yes, it's happening. I thought it won't happen because there's spring break, but no, it's happening. So, yeah. Yeah, the con. I'm every day I say this, but I'm excited for Kane. Um, so Sandrine sent all of us an email basically saying that okay, from here on out, every Thursday 5 p.m. Every Thursday, not bi-weekly, weekly. Every Thursday 5 p.m. we will meet up and we will have meetings and we will plan. And I thought it's like a one-time thing. This Thursday I can skip 192. I can do that, but I don't want to skip every single day. Especially the screenings. So yeah, but we'll see. Um, and then another thing is, so I asked Kaylin for an update whether she has received any news about, you know, whether she's chosen to star in APCA Close Up. She has no news. Apparently, she's supposed to get news by the end of yesterday, and she didn't because it's APCA. It's not very well managed. So Kaylin's like, you know what? Just ask your other actress to do it. I'm super sorry, and I'm like, it's okay. So yeah, we'll see. But for now, Kaylin is not available, but it's okay because I have like 3 other Asian girls who are ready to roll. For some reason, when I sent out like I need actors, Asian girls, especially playing Sophia, are the ones that respond to me the most. There's just an endless supply of Asian girls in USC. Just endless. But yeah, I guess it'll go to the other person who is interested. Her name is Emily Lee. I hate that I'm using full names, but like I know multiple Emilys at this point. So she's like international and she's Chinese and she told it's crazy. I sent her the script and she read it and she's like, I love it. I also check out your other works and I love them all. And if you want to meet up in person, I would be down. And I'm like, your role is such a like in my head. I'm like, your role is such a tiny role. We don't really need to meet up. We can just call. But sure, if you want. It's so crazy that like all the actors I've sent the script to so far have enjoyed the script, which is crazy because my script is so deranged. But maybe that's why they like it. Because they're not the ones getting into trouble. I'm the one getting into trouble. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically it for today. Quite an adventure. Not that mildly interesting. Um, I'm hungry. I'll have salmon. I had chicken last night for dinner. I'm having salmon today, and um, gotta sleep early, and um, I'm tired. Um, Tomorrow it's gonna be a wee bit complicated. I'll go for CTCS 192 discussion, and then I'll have dinner. And then I'll have lunch, and then I'll go to SPO office. There's also RIT 340, and then at night there's 290, but I won't be there the whole time because halfway through 290, I'm just gonna head over to Norris Theater to watch Alien, and I need to return the tripod to Audrey and Tina, my trio. So that's the plan for tomorrow. It's quite a bit. But yeah, after Smooth Operator, man, I'm so done. I'm so fucking done. And I'm still pondering because the final exam for my religion class, I can do creative project. And I talked to the professor a little bit after class, and the professor's like, "You're a film student. Of course, do a creative project." And I'm like, "Oh, but I'm so busy." And I don't know. I kind of want to do a creative project, but like, I don't even know if I have the energy to do it. I literally just said, after Smooth Operator, I'm not directing anything. So why the hell am I directing another short immediately the next month? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Okay, time now at 10:35 a.m. in the morning. On March 26th. I slept from about 4:20 a.m. 4:20 a.m. to yeah, to 10:20, and then went back to bed for a little more. 6 hours. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just really tired and I didn't realize it. But last night I did homework, you know, and and then I started watching Ghost Dog, which is a film I planned to watch last night. 10 minutes in, I started falling asleep. So, yeah, I'm like, well, might as well go to bed. So, if I had gone all the way with the film, I would probably have gone to bed like at 5 a.m. But, um, yeah, I ended up, um, taking a shower early. I actually, like, I could have gone to bed at 4 a.m., but I continued to use my phone until 4:30. So, yeah. But even so, 4:30 to 10:30, that's like 6 hours. Or 4:20 to 10:20, that's 6 hours. It's not great, really. So, you know, I have to continue with the trying to sleep early, you know? So, yeah, the Criterions did not arrive yesterday, but they are gonna arrive today. Unless USPS decide to pull some crazy shit. So, I'm excited about that. My con accreditation is also approved, so that's cool. Um, ah, you know, pretty crazy. So yeah, today's gonna be insanely busy. It's gonna be a really long day. It's gonna be a long day for the next 5 fucking days. So, today I'm gonna have CTCS 192 discussion, and then I'll have lunch, and then, okay, I'll go to the SPO office and book a room first, and then CTCS 192 discussion, and then have lunch, and then RIT 340, and then I'll go home briefly. But I'll be, you know, I won't be having lunch at home. I'll be watching an episode of Severance. And then I'll go back for CCPR 290, and then halfway through the class, I'm gonna go watch Alien, which is CTCS 469. Yeah. And that's it for today. Tomorrow's even worse. Somehow. Because I think tomorrow it's religion class, CTCS 192, and then sometime during lecture I'll just leave, and then I'll have lunch outside, yes, and then it'll be the con meeting, which I'm excited about, and then I'll have to go to Ralph's, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's the music video shoot, and then Saturday, Sunday, smooth op. Low-key worried about smooth op, but like, I don't know. I've done this short film thing many times. Maybe it's maybe I don't really need to stress it. But yeah. Can't wait for smooth op to end. Like, can't wait to be done with this. Just can't wait.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck the fuck off. Fuck you. I'm carrying this giant long schlong on my shoulder right now. Fucking prick. Ah, fuck.
At 100, hit enter. Our low pass filter should be at 10,000. So you can type in 10K and hit enter. And then your window should look like this. So you can either take a picture of the settings up on the board or be following along and take a picture of your own window right now. These are really good based on a true story. One of my trio mates really was the sober one in charge of taking care of his two friends, and he got punched and broke his jaw.
Oh.
Right?
What?
Crazy. And then he transferred to USC and his whole life changed. Alright, so our punch sound is really good, but that's okay. Like I said, we have to know what the rules are in order to
Okay, time now is 1:11 a.m. Yeah, fuck, it's late. But today's a long ass day and a lot happened. Again, it's another mildly interesting day where a bunch of mildly interesting things happened. I feel like that's 2025 so far. It's just a lot of very mildly interesting things have happened, but nothing explosively interesting. So yeah, I had sore throat like a week ago and it sort of became running nose. I had a nosebleed for the first time in a long time yesterday. And I feel like for the last 3 days or so, my throat has been weird. Like there's phlegm, and also I feel like my voice sounds weird. It sounds stuffy, but also my hearing is weird. Like the music I listen to, I have to turn it really loud. I don't know why. I think partially it's because I listen to a lot of loud music and I'm building a tolerance for loudness, which is bad, but I think it's something to do with sinus and the fact that my nose is clogged constantly, so like this is also clogged. Like the Eustachian tube. Eustachian tube. Fuck. But yeah, today is actually not too bad, for the most part, until at night. So, oh my god, okay, ugh. So anyways, this morning I woke up and I planned to film an album review and then leave, but I totally, once again, for the umpteenth time, underestimated. Oh my god. My throat. I underestimated how much time it would take for me to do anything. I woke up and it's already 11 a.m. after I finished brushing my teeth, and I realized ideally I should leave at like 11:15, and I'm like, yeah, 15 minutes is not enough. So not only did I not do an album review, but also I missed the bus and I didn't take the bus. I had breakfast and then I walked to school again. I began to realize that, on the transit app, okay. I realized that on the transit app, usually it says leave in 7 minutes, and then leave in not leave in 7 minutes. Usually the transit app estimates that it would take me 7 minutes to walk from my place to the bus station. And so I would usually leave my apartment 7 minutes before or a bit less. The threshold is 5 because I'm a fast walker. But I realized that nowadays I should leave 9 minutes before. I don't know why. Like I go downstairs and take some time for me to fill water into my water bottle, etc. Anyways, I missed the bus and I walked to school and yeah, because of that, I didn't have time this morning to get the permits. So that's fucked. I immediately went to CTCS 192 discussion and Um, yeah, I immediately arrived and I sat down and I did not pay attention at all during discussion. I finished my ALI reports, which was pretty fast and easy to type out. But during today's discussion section, Marissa, our TA, decided to let us play Kahoot, so we did it, but I totally didn't care. I just did my own thing. And then that's it. And then class dismissed, and then we left. So I wanted to see Rachel because I thought she's mad at me after what happened 2 nights ago, where she lost the director role to me and then lost everything. Rachel didn't even show up today. And I'm like, fuck, is she that mad? Like, what's going on? So I don't know. I didn't know. But a little bit later today, Rachel liked my message on Instagram. I basically told her, "Hey, felt really bad that I got director. Like, I was gonna ask you to DP," and I said that like Monday night, and she finally liked my message today. And then I told her a little bit more. I was like, "So you didn't come to section today?" And she's like, "No, I've been vomiting all day and I've been on my bed." And I'm like, "Oh no, what happened?" And she's like, "I don't know, stress." So, yeah, apparently on top of that, Marissa emailed Rachel asking her to meet up next week because they're going to have a conversation. And Marissa wouldn't reveal what the conversation will be about. And that's horrifying. If I was Rachel, I would be horrified. And maybe that's why. Not only is Rachel stressed out about 290, but also 192. I genuinely feel bad for her. I feel like she's on a blacklist or something. 2 semesters ago, when we took CTCS 394 together, I feel like she's put on a blacklist because the professor of that class accused Rachel of plagiarizing. And then so every single semester, Rachel is suspicious. Like last semester when we took 191 together, some TA also asked Rachel about plagiarism for a different essay. I feel like it keeps happening to Rachel and it's kind of crazy. So I hope she's doing all right, but goddamn. Okay, anyway, so I'm glad she's not mad at me, it seems, or so it seems. So class ended, and I think the highlight of the day took place. I walked to SCA building, and I was thinking, right before I opened the door, I was like, I swear to God, if Jia-Yun is on the other side. I opened the door, I walked, and there she is, just sitting there on a couch, looking at her script on a laptop. And well, I wouldn't want to ignore her, because if I get the chance to speak to her, I will. So I was like, hey. And she's like, hey. And I'm glad that I'm in my haircut, but I'm not in glasses mode. I should have kept my glasses. But yeah. She's like, hey. And I saw that she's making revisions to her Rush script, which she wants to direct. And she's like, yeah, I'm aiming for an 8K to 10K budget. The location is going to be crazy. And blah, blah, blah. She's really ambitious. I mean, she's like 19, turning 20. Like, goddamn. 10K? That's like 75K Hong Kong dollars. I've never made something that expensive. I think the most expensive is 20K Hong Kong dollars, and that film is a flop. But yeah, I was like, damn, okay. And then she's like, why are you standing? Sit down. So I sat beside her, and then we had a mini conversation. So the original plan is after CTCS 192 discussion, I'm gonna have lunch, and then I'm gonna head over to WIT 340, and then I'll go home, chill, and then I'll come back for 290, etc. But I'm like, you know what? I got to have a conversation with her. I should. So she sat down and we continued to talk, and some interesting things continue to come up. So she asked me again, so would you be free this summer? And I know she's referring to, helping on her for Rush, for her short film called Rush. And I'm like, you asked me this already. Yes, I'm free in June, but if it's July, no. And she's like, oh, it will not be pushed to July because in July I will go back to Shanghai. And I'm like, oh, I will go back to Hong Kong. And then she's like, what? Come visit me. And then I was like, oh, you should make a short film in Shanghai. Because I low key want to segue the conversation to the fact that I made a short film in Hong Kong called The World Is Not Enough. But I never really went there. She was like, oh yeah, I plan to. I'm actually like writing a feature script, and the story takes place in Shanghai, and it's about a little girl who enters the underworld, and like her dad had an affair, and she punches her dad, and there's like A story and B story and C story and D story, and there's like a romance, and it's like multiple languages, blah blah. And I'm like, oh cool, And then as she's explaining her script to me, she starts speaking to me in Mandarin. And I feel like one of the questions I really wanted to ask her is actually, are you fluent in Mandarin? Because I feel like for Chinese Americans, they always vary. She's not even Chinese American. She's more like Chinese Canadian. But she's also like born in China, but like raised in Vancouver. So make that with what you will. But yeah, it always varies. Like there are, I guess I would call this group of people ABC, but also CBC or like CRC, Canada raised Chinese. Like they have a range, and that is like they either speak really fluent Mandarin or not a lick of Mandarin, and it's always on the spectrum. And I talked to Jiayun about. I wanted to ask her about this, and I was fully expecting her to be completely fluent, and as it turns out, she is. She just started speaking to me Mandarin, which is so interesting too, because actual Chinese people would say something to me in Mandarin, and they would be like, wait, would you understand? But then Jiayun just started speaking to me in Mandarin, and like not really asking me things, but just like explaining the story to me in Mandarin. And I actually kind of understand her. Not kind of, like completely understood her. And I even commented on it. I was like, wow, I've never really heard you speak so much Mandarin to me before. That's crazy. But then I also remember, like, in the very beginning when we first met at the Halloween party, she did ask me if I can speak Chinese, and I was like, a little bit. But yeah. So that was interesting. And then eventually I talked about, oh, so you're writing a feature script. And she's like, yeah, I'm taking a feature script writing class next semester. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because I'm taking motion picture screen analysis. And she's like, oh, me too. We're in the same class then. And I'm like, ooh, no way. And that's so crazy too, because when I'm planning to enroll in motion picture screen analysis, I was like, what if Jiayun's also in that class? What are the chances? This is probably going to be the only screenwriting class I'll ever take, sans Mary Sweeney, if that even happens. And I was like, what if Jiayun is also there? It turns out she is there, so that's crazy. And then I talked about like how I don't like taking screenwriting classes because I don't like the 3-act structure. And then she's like, well, but you kind of have to know, because you got to know the basics before you break the rules. Know the rule before you break the rules, which is something I hear all the time, but I believe it, but I also don't believe it. It's like, yeah, I know the rules, and I'm breaking it, but I don't have to know it a lot, And then I was like, yeah, I don't like rules confining me. Eventually, a couple of girls sort of appear from a far distance, lining up beside Coffee Bean. And Jiayun was like, oh, that's Madeline. And I remember that Madeline is this Taiwan girl, and she's friends with Katie. And I looked at another girl, and I'm like, that's Katie. I didn't even see her face. I looked at her hair and the fact that she's carrying a skateboard, and I'm like, that's Katie. And Jiayun's like, yeah. So eventually Jiayun's like, okay, I gotta go. So she left. But I thought that's really nice, because I feel like I really want to have a conversation with her because I want to know what kind of person she really is. And I think mini conversations like this really help me figure that out. And I think it also builds a really good relationship between us. It's so funny. At some point, Jiayun was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna ask like people in Asia to help me make that film, that feature film." And then I was like, "Oh, so you're gonna like look for anyone in the geographical region of East Asia?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she showed me the treatment. And I'm like, "Oh, that's the treatment." Like I know something. I know about screenwriting. Like I'm a film guy. I know the basics. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so Jiayun's gone. I walked to Coffee Bean. I started lining up. Katie saw me. Katie waved, and then from a far distance, Katie's like, "You had a haircut?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I ordered. It's so random. And then after I ordered, I walked up to Katie. I was like, "Hi, yes, I did have a haircut." And then Katie, it was a little awkward, dead silence. And then Katie was like, have you shot P2?" And I'm like, "For 290?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm supposed to shoot last week." So we talked about 290 a little bit. And Katie's like, "Yeah, oh, I did the same thing, you know." And I just thought it's really cool that, again, I remember, I think when I first came to USC, when I first started APCA, Katie's like this really powerful person. But like, we're like closer now. It's the same thing with Betsy, you know? And I really like that change. You know, I'm really going up there. Oh, I forgot to mention that I ran into Christian, but he's on a skateboard and he's listening to music. I was like, "Christian," and then he just zoomed away. I ran into him before I even entered campus. Anyways, um, anyways, we what else? Fuck. I'm tired. Okay, I can't recall things. So, anyways, I went to SCA third floor. Yeah, Katie went to the elevator. I said goodbye to her, and then I was gonna leave SCA, and then I was like, "No, I should go to SCA third floor." So I walked to the elevators. I saw Katie entering an elevator, and I'm like, "I'm not gonna go in there because I just said goodbye to her." So I waited the next one, and then I went to third floor, and I found a little quiet place, and then I had my caprese sandwich and cafe mocha, and then I'm a fast eater, so after eating I had like half an hour to spare. So I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go get the permits now. Might as well. So I went to the SPO office, applied for permits super fast, immediately went downstairs to operations, booked a room, success, left my paperwork there, gone to RIT 340. So it's RIT 340, and during class I didn't really speak up aside from reciting a passage from an essay, a really long passage. But after class I stayed behind and spoke to the professor and really hammered things out with my essay, and it was really helpful. Again, it was like, he's really strict, but I know he comes from a good place, and I know he wants to see me get better. But he is really strict. So I showed him my essay outline on my phone, and then I talked to him, and I keep, like, right now as I'm talking, I'm really eloquent and I'm articulate, but when I'm speaking to him, I'm like, you know, like I stutter, because I feel like I get a little nervous and insecure about my speech. So I just start, like, saying like, you know, like, you know, like. But I hope I get better. I hope, the thing is, maybe by the end of this class I would be a really good writer because of him. And the truth is, maybe I look back on my first essay and I realize, wow, I did not open up enough with my first essay, because I actually have very interesting things to say. I feel like, you know, the fact that I pace around my room right now and I speak means that I have things to say. It's just that I haven't fully transcribed it on paper in words, like, in essay form. So RIT 340 is over. I very quickly went back to operations, grabbed the permits, walked to the bus stop, caught the bus in the nick of time, returned home. Because I already had lunch, I went home and I only did one thing. I watched Severance episode 3. And then after that, I immediately went to 290. So yeah, I was gonna do the album review at night, but I'm not gonna do it at all. I'm tired, my voice is stuffy. Next morning, maybe. So, yeah. I was gonna catch the bus to 290, and I was carrying this huge chunk of a tripod, and then I watched the bus fly by me again. So of course, I carried the tripod and walked 20 minutes to school. It's fucking insane. Honestly, it's not that bad as it seems, but it's really crazy that I just did that. It's really crazy. But yeah, I dragged it all the way to school. I went to SA 3rd floor, sat down a little bit, went back down, and then went to 290 class, and no one showed up. And today's class is about sound editing and sound mixing and downloading sound effects, and no one paid attention. At least Ryan, who's sitting next to me, didn't pay attention at all. So I didn't pay attention. I spent the whole class looking at the map of Cannes, France. So yeah. Ryan was also talking to me and asking me about my project. It's crazy that these people are genuinely nice to me and genuinely curious about what I'm up to. I still can't compute that. Every time someone compliments me or not compliments me, but every time someone tries to strike a genuine conversation with me, I'm always what's the ulterior motive? Because through Film 33 and of course my secondary school life, I feel like people don't talk to me normally. It's weird. Oh yeah, I did run into Maisie as well. I ran into a lot of people. I ran into Matt. I saw Matt when I was talking to Jayun. And I saw Matt with a brown suit and sneakers, and I smiled. I'm this guy's so fucking he's embodying irony. He is a man of irony, and he's embodying it. Okay. And also, Matt is looking at me talking to a girl. So, don't mess with the Enoch. Okay. Oh, another thing is I received the criterions. So thank God USPS did deliver the criterions just a few minutes before I went back home after RIT 340. And it's fucking perfect. Not stolen, thank God. Okay. So 290. Justin T told me to come to Norris at 8 p.m. because that's probably when the film will start. And then I'm okay, well, I'll come early. I'll come at 7:30. And then I checked my phone at around 7:20, and I saw that at 7:10 or at 7:14, Justin T was come now. In 10 minutes, it'll start. And I was oh shit. So I just immediately bounced. I immediately left. And I zoomed all the way to Norris. And I was right there in the nick of time. And I saw the entire film. I also found Justin T. The Norris Theater is completely dark. I DM'd Justin T. I was hey, where are you? No response. And then I somehow still found him. I was oh, that guy looks like him. And then I just sat next to him. And then I watched it. I also ran into Bella, the other Shanghai woman, when I was applying for permits. I keep running into people. It's crazy. It's cursed, really. Yeah. So, yeah, and then after Alien, I was starving. I looked around me and I saw Coleman behind me, and I'm hey, And then I saw Audrey at the very front, and I also saw Hugo. And I wanted to speak to all of them, and I was going to want to speak to the professor, but Justin T doesn't care, so he left, so I left anyways. But I did eventually spoke to Hugo a little bit, but I wish I could have spoken to Audrey a little bit. And then Justin T left, and then I had to go see this actress, Emily Lee, who wanted to see me in person at Kaufman School of Dance. So I went there, and turns out she's at SCA, and then she went to me, and then we talked. And then we walked to the village together. It's really good that we have an in-person meeting, even though she's playing such a minor character, but not oh my god, but like, she's like totally not the type I'm looking for. I want an ABG who's like a party girl. When she showed up, she just looks purely international, like very obviously a Chinese person. At least with Mia, it's obvious that she's like at least with Mia, it's not obvious that she's, Chinese. But no, with Emily Lee, she does look like just a Chinese girl, and she's not that, like, she's wearing a big coat. Like, she doesn't give off party vibes at all. She's also kind of quiet. And I'm just thinking, damn, is this my only choice? I know I have several choices. But I either trust her or I do Kaylin. And the thing is, since I'm already meeting Emily Lee, it would be extremely impolite for me to tell her, hey, I'm sorry, but you can't do it. But if I deny her that I'm only relying on Kaylin, and I don't even know if Kaylin can do it. But even Kaylin doesn't give off ABG vibes, but I guess Kaylin is a bit closer. So I'm gonna just trust this girl. Emily Lee was like, oh yeah, I know what you're going for, I really like the script, and I can do that, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I trust you. The thing is that she doesn't have a lot of scenes, so it's not gonna be that detrimental, but like, goddamn, she's not what I'm looking for. And casting is important. So that's the first hiccup. The second hiccup, I went home and I was gonna immediately cook dinner because I'm starving. And I checked, I was like, oh yeah, my Hollyland Lark mic should have arrived at Amazon. And then it didn't arrive. I'm like, what the fuck? So I tracked the tracking number. And it's UPS. And it's returning to sender. Are you fucking kidding me? I bought this mic for the second time, and I still can't fucking get it. This holy fucking shit, by the way. More than any time in my life, I am in urgent need of this mic. If I'm buying a Blu-ray, and if you delay, fine. I need this mic because I'm filming 2 days later. In fact, 1 day. Because right now it's March 27th. And I literally bought the mic twice. And you still fuck it up. The first mic arrived and vanished. The second mic is returning to sender, who's in Utah. So I immediately called UPS customer service. I highly doubt they'll pick up. I called them, and of course, it's this AI voice who cannot help me at all. And then I tried to do package intercept, and then for that to happen, I need to sign up for an account. So I did all that shit, and then package intercept, type in your email. So I typed in my email, and then they asked me to verify my email by sending me a passcode. So I did that, did not work. Did that again, did not work. Did that again, did not work. Did that again, did not work. 4 fucking times. So okay, fine. My main email doesn't work, so I switched to school email, did not work. Again, did not work. It's fucking stupid. They don't even work. You send me these codes, and I'm supposed to type in these codes in your fucking website for you to verify them. And they don't work 6 times. You're stupid. You're an idiot. You're moronic. UPS can go fuck itself in the ass. So I'm really fucking pissed. So I immediately ordered the third time. I'm buying the Hollyland Lark mic, $217, 3 fucking times in a row. And this time I changed the address to my place. And I even looked up, like, is it returning to sender? So it failed to send. Like, apparently it is, the recipient refused to receive, which means the Amazon pickup place straight up denied it. And I'm thinking maybe it's because it needs a signature, because the mic is expensive, but turns out you don't even need a signature. If it's below $1,000, you don't need a signature. Also, I've bought more expensive things. No, actually, no. My Blu-ray player is $130, but still. So I don't know. So thank God I have Amazon Prime right now, and I'm sending that shit to my place, and it supposedly arrives on Friday. And if it arrives a day late, I will murder someone. So there's that. Jesus Christ. Okay, worst case scenario, I can ask Ethan Kwan if he has mics. Probably not, because he's a cinematography guy. Then I'll probably ask my trio mates, and hopefully, miraculously, they don't need mics for the time being. If not, then I'll just go raw with no sound, which is insane. I don't know how am I going to achieve that. But yeah, this is really stupid. This is really fucking stupid. I need sound for my short film, for fuck's sakes. Not only am I using a faulty tripod now in a shitty gym, but also I don't have sound. So yeah, not perfect. Not perfect already. Not in perfect conditions. So yeah. We'll see. And then yeah, that's it. A lot happened today. Fuck. I'm excited for tomorrow's CAN meeting though. I really am. I really am excited for that. Also, yeah, so tomorrow I'll go religion class, CTCS 192. I'll leave early and I'll have a quick lunch, and then I'll go to the CAN meeting, and then at night I'll go to Ralph's, and that's it. And yeah, Jiayun, she is really friendly to me, and I think she is very friendly to everyone, but I don't know. But I feel like it, after today's conversation, to be completely frank, I want to have a deeper conversation with her. Now I want to know more about her. I don't think she's like that interesting, honestly. But like, I think she's a person who, like, I would like to have a conversation with. Because, I don't know, she seems fun. I guess that's the best way I could put it. Yeah. That's it. But yeah, what a bitter note to end on. Fuck UPS. So I hope they refund the 2 mics. All that shit for a Hollyland mic, man. Maybe it's not UPS's fault. Maybe it's the company who sends them, and they keep sending like empty boxes because they're a scammer and they scam. Like, I don't know. Worst case scenario, Best Buy.